Good morning, Julie. Yeah, it does do that. And of course, the Occidental deal is about $7 billion higher than Chevron. Of course, Occidental is a much smaller company, so there's some concern. But of course, they're going to go for the money. And really, what I think they're doing here is creating a bidding war to get more money out of Chevron. I think their preferred partner would be Chevron, but they want them to come closer to the Occidental deal. But yes, it is a big demand for Shell because that is the coming age and that is the future. And of course, that's why we can really believe that oil is going to actually stabilize and go lower from here.
Well, walk me through the implications of this deal for oil prices then.
Well, I mean, again, oil still works on a lot of fear because most of us are still believe that most of our oil comes from overseas. And of course, with the Sri Lankan unfortunate events there and the cutting off of Iran, that forced the prices of oil higher. But the more we can produce here, which we are a net exporter of oil, we are one of the largest producers in the world now, the more we can produce, the better we can do it. The more control we can keep oil prices, and of course it would bring down the cost of producing shale here. So it would take out all the lenders. There's a lot of wildcatters in this field right now that are paying exorbitant costs, loan costs, and things like that. But if you bring it down and you bring out more quantity, you bring down the net cost, which brings down the net cost to the consumer.
Hey Todd, Adam Johnson, great to see you, buddy. So oil, I love trading as a range. Hey, below 50, I'm a buyer of oil. Above 70, I'm a seller, right? There's that natural correction mechanism because below 50, you shut off production. Above 70, you bring it on, right? That keeps it in range. So I'm long Pioneer right now, PXD and EOG, obviously ticker EOG. That's the way I'm playing it. How are you playing oil?
I'm actually playing the direct futures, Adam. I mean, I'm short oil futures here from 65. And again, one of the things I'm seeing here, which leads me to believe we are going lower in price, is there's a formation in the commodities market called backwardation. Okay, normally there's two formations, contango, which is the normal, and then backwardation. So what's happening now is June oil is the most expensive on the board. You can buy oil in December cheaper than you can buy it for tomorrow. And that's usually that's called backwardation because it should be the other way around. So that's usually a sign of fear and a sign that the prices are being artificially pumped up, which means they usually fall. The last time we had this big of a backwardation, going back to last week, was in July of 14 when we were at 116 and went down to $27 a barrel. Now, I'm not saying we're going to 27, but I could see going back to your 50 level, we're going to buy it. But I would also look for some of these. I do own some Schlumberger. I do own some Halliburton. So, again, I would play some of the more depressed oil stocks as well. But typically, as a trader, I'm going to trade the future outright and not worry about what goes on within the companies.
Todd, we haven't brought up the president's comments yet. He says that he spoke to people at OPEC to try and get prices down a little bit, although there are various reports that say that that hasn't necessarily been confirmed. But I would ask what role he has to play in this and what role OPEC has to play in this. Do you think that it's not that relevant?
I think OPEC's irrelevant. I think OPEC is nothing more than a phony organization that has nothing to do anymore. They can no longer hold over the Americans the threat of holding back oil. We can produce our own oil. We're not in need to them as we were when oil was $12 a barrel and they decided they could raise it. Now that we are a self-producing nation and actually have, right now at current usage, we've got over a 200-year supply in the ground without going into any of the environmental issues. OPEC is meaningless. I mean, again, OPEC is just a bunch of phony guys that, try to artificially push prices higher, in my opinion.
All right. Thanks for your opinion, Todd. Good to see you. Todd Horwitz, Public Trading founder and chief strategist. Appreciate it.